Bill Fitch and the Houston Rockets have got some soul searching to do, for they have yet to solve the puzzle in green known as the Boston Celtics. For 2 games, the Rockets have been grounded by Boston's smothering defense. And now Houston returns home where they must regroup, knowing all too well that the puzzle has no simple solution. The spirit of the Boston Celtics is embodied within the cool exterior of Larry Bird. The MVP skills of this magnificent athlete have been widely displayed during these NBA Finals. But perhaps it's his competitive, intense style that best distinguishes Bird, and it's that same intensity which inspires and drives his teammates. For the Celtics, every loose ball becomes a determined mission. Now the beleaguered Rockets must realize they've run into a team breathing fire. And the flames show no signs of dimming. Finals move deep into the heart of Texas. It's not the Alamo, but for the Rockets, it could be their last stand. Welcome to the summit in Houston, Texas, and never did a basketball team need the affection of a home court more than the Houston Rockets. The Boston Celtics are at the front gate, and they're kicking the door down in this championship series. You know, this part of Texas is depressed economically, but the price of basketball is soaring. Ticket scalping is not illegal here in Texas, and those $18 seats that you see down in the front row are bringing upwards of $100 for this, the third and critical game. Now, the Boston Celtics have never lost a championship series when they went up 2-0. But despite that, the Rockets are terribly confident. Some might say even overconfident. Their big fella, Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon, predicts flatly that the Celtics will not be able to win 2 of 3 games here. Here's what he had to say to Pat O'Brien.
You've been saying that today's a lock, that the Rockets are definitely going to win today.
Oh, yes, no question.
Why do you think that?
Because we're at home and everybody was disappointed the way we play in Boston. So now we're ready to play.
Why are you so confident about Game 3?
Because I know the way our team plays at home.
So that is the dream of the Rockets, to start back by getting in this series and winning Game 3. It is a must game for the Rockets. And for more, let's go down to Dick Stockton. Dick?
Thank you very much, Brent. As you can tell in the background, the Rockets are pinning much of their hopes on the home court today. Next to the Celtics, they had the second-best home court record in the league. They're undefeated in the playoffs, but keep in mind that the Boston Celtics, throughout their history, have relished the opportunity of quieting the crowd and winning on the road. They had the best road record in the NBA this year. Tommy Heinsohn, if you are the coach of the Rockets, how do you beat these Boston Celtics?
Well, I would want to make my team more aggressive, particularly on defense. Get out there and press a little bit, go hard on the double teams, get a piece of the ball. Then try and really turn that speed advantage loose, more fast breaks, control the tempo. And most of all, don't worry about Larry Bird, but shut off the other guys.
All right, that's the story. It's game number 3 of the NBA Finals. The Boston Celtics 2-0. Let's see if the change of venue helps the Houston Rockets this afternoon. It's the NBA on CBS. Not only is it home court advantage, but it's home territory advantage. Willie Nelson made an appearance just moments ago.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the starting lineup for your Western Conference champion, Houston Rockets.
Now, if Willie Nelson can hit some jump shots, that would help the Rockets. The lineup, same group: McHale, Bird, Parish, Ainge, and Johnson. The backcourt has been a key success for the Celtics. The Rockets have struggled with Lloyd and Reed, Sampson, McRae, and Hakeem Olajuwon, who you heard from with Brent at the top. And the man of the hour, I don't know when I've ever seen him more focused, Larry Bird, and we know Hakeem Olajuwon is, Tommy, coming into this game. Robert Parish and the rest. But Larry Bird came out early again, and I think very badly he would like to see the Celtics win this road game.
If there be any complacency for the Celtics, it might be in this game, but that man right there, I'm sure, will not let it happen.
That's the Rocket story at home. One of their 5 losses was to the Celtics, but Hakeem did not play in Boston's win here during the regular year. Underway, controlled by the Celtics. Jake O'Donnell and Joe Crawford are the working officials. Game 3. McHale knocks it away to Reed. Fast break for the Rockets. Rodney McHale.
That's what they want to do. Whoever controls this first quarter, I think, is going to win this game, Dick.
Usually it's been the third for the Celtics in the first 2 games.
Houston will be a believer in themselves if they come off strong this first quarter.
And Larry Bird hits his first shot, and the net doesn't even shimmer. And we're tied 2-2. We're in sudden death playoff at the Kemper Open. We'll update that story for you. On the turnover, Bird with a runner. And Larry Bird has 4, and the Rockets have 2. But Houston's pushing it up with Louis Lloyd, who gets fouled, and that's what the Rockets have not done so far.
They have not gotten the ball out and up the court quick enough. That was after a made basket, something that we have seen precious little by the Rockets. Lloyd, who can take it strong, if he can keep doing that, will pick up some fouls on the Celtics' big people.
Parish commits the foul, and here's Louis Lloyd. Actually, of the starting guards, the Rockets, before this free throw, had been to the line only 2 times.
But they weren't running, Dick, and in the open court and on the set offense, they were just staying around and hanging around.
Reed picking up Ainge early, and Ainge crossing the line. Lloyd is on Dennis Johnson, who's been sensational so far. Sampson the rebound. He likes to bring it up. Here's Hakeem. Foul. The Celtics have had a lot more chances from the free throw line than the Houston Rockets have, and for the very reason you just talked about. The fast break gets you shots, and also opportunities inside with the guards.
That's a very good fast break opportunity by the Rockets that time. A hard push by Ralph Sampson, and he left Kevin McHale in the dust.
And Robert Parish quickly picks up his second personal foul. Olajuwon has had a miserable time from the line, 61%. 10 of 19, and he's 1 of 2 in this one. And Bill Fitch hoping his team can rebound. Celtic guards have outplayed the Rocket guards by a mile. Here's Bird. And Bird is 3 for 3 and has accounted for all 6 Celtic points. Casey Jones said he's the best total player of all time after his fantastic performance in Game 2. Hakeem doubled with McHale and Ainge and scores anyway.
That's something he's had trouble doing, turning to the middle. He's been shooting mostly fallaways.
Johnson looking for Parish to try to get some of the Rockets in foul trouble. And Parish had help from Lloyd. Lloyd helping Hakeem defensively. Knocked away. Into the hands of Bird. Parish down court. And hits the layup. And we're playing this game as if everything's on the line today, and maybe it is.
I'll tell you, the first quarter, very important. The Celtics can put the Rockets in their place, they feel, and make them think of memories of Boston Garden if they get off hot the first quarter.
Ralph Sampson, and that's a big one. He's happy as anyone, I'm sure, to get out of Boston after the problems he's had this year. Parish, good position inside. Blocked by Olajuwon, and we have a traveling call. Hakeem got a hand on it.
Parish has not been able during this series to get real good low post position against the more physical Hakeem Olajuwon.
Rockets lead by 1 with 9:20 to go. Here's Robert Reed. The Rockets are 4 for 4 from the field and have a 3-point lead.
Robert Reed says, I'm going for my shot in this ball game.
Louis Lloyd committing the foul on Dennis Johnson. And that is the first foul against the Houston Rockets. The Celtics with a 13-1 playoff record. A sweep in this series would give them the best all-time winning percentage in regular season and playoffs in a single year. Another Houston foul as Dennis Johnson tried to loop it inside. And that'll be against Ralph Sampson, number 1.
One of the toughest things for Ralph Sampson is to defend against a guy that's very physical and low post.
Ainge for 3 and hits it. And all of a sudden the Celtics have tied it up 11 apiece under 9 minutes to go. First period. McHale Lloyd with 2 men on him. Sampson, offensive rebound. And Ralph Sampson showing already a different style from the first 2 games.
Running and jumping and getting physical.
A fast-paced opening moment here at the Summit in Houston, Texas. Rockets 7-0 in the playoffs here. Parish with a turnaround. Reed finds Lloyd. And Tommy, as you said all along, that may be the only way for the Rockets to gain an advantage on the Celtics.
When the guards get out there and they can go one-on-one, they're tough for the Rockets.
Johnson fighting his way in. McHale and Dennis fighting for the loose ball, and a foul against the Rockets. And the Celtics getting the loose ball once again.
I'll tell you, though, the tempo of this game is so definitely in favor of the Rockets. Here is a hard push off a rebound. Look at everybody with the white jersey running. Dennis Johnson has to go out. He makes a bad gamble, and as Lewis Lloyd in the open court, that's where he's at his best.
Hakeem Olajuwon with his first foul. Dennis Johnson has gone to the free throw line more than anyone in this series. This will be his 22nd free throw attempt, and he leads everyone in defensive rebounds. That a 6'4" guard.
And I think a big reason why the Celtics are leading 2-0. He gave them the edge to tip over the rebounding margin to the Celtics.
Houston by 2. Lloyd working against Dennis Johnson. Double team, Reed. And McHale the rebound.
Not a bad shot. Other people getting involved in the Rockets offense than Hakeem and Sampson.
That's what Reed said he wanted to do. Parish lost the ball. Lloyd, good open court player. Good position for Olajuwon. All 5 Rockets have scored, and Hakeem leads with 5.
And it was one-on-one defense. No help for McHale that time against Olajuwon.
McHale hasn't scored yet, and now he's into the scoring column. The best shooter of any player on either team, Kevin McHale. And Sampson under the basket, and he outran the Celtics down the court.
We never saw one of those up in Boston. There's going to be lots of them in this ball game. He's running.
Timeout, Boston. The Rockets lead 19-15 and setting the pace the way they want to, but the Celtics are not very far behind at this point, Tom.
Well, I'll tell you this, though. The game very much at the pace and tempo that the Rockets like. And one thing I've noted early, and it shouldn't be happening this quickly in the ball game, Robert Parish and Kevin McHale are having trouble getting back quickly on the defense.
Rockets front court shooting is a perfect 6 for 6 in this game. Everyone has touched the ball and scored on both teams. Sampson leads with 6 for Houston. Bird has 6 for the Celtics. Bird. And Sampson with his 4th rebound. Loses the ball. Ainge picks it up. Didn't go to McHale. Bird, the trailer. What a pass to Parish. But he has it stripped away by Hakeem. Good pass by Bird. Good defense by the Rockets. Lewis Lloyd to Olajuwon. Sampson. And the Celtics come out with it. Rockets by 4. And another turnover by Boston. That's their 5th in this first period.
Robert Parish has Lou Lloyd's hands from last game. Can't hold on to the ball.
Things like that happen from game to game. Reed, long-range shot. Bird clears it. Under 6 minutes to go, first period. Dick Stockton and Tom Heinsohn here at the Summit. Parish misses. And they're going to have a foul. And that'll be Robert Parish's 3rd personal foul here, with just about halfway, a little more than halfway, through this opening period.
Well, the Celtics obviously wanted Parish to get more involved in the game.
And Bill Walton, who took a knee on the thigh, above the knee in game 2, but ran the last 2 days, has come in early. Olajuwon And Bird with another rebound. So Walton is in early here as Parish goes to the bench with 3 fouls.
They're throwing a different look in the low post game, the Rockets. They're confusing the Celtics defense with some different type of plays, running Hakeem to the low post.
Bird hits, and Larry Bird has 8 points.
And of course, there's always Larry Bird.
19-17 Rockets. And Rodney McHale, who was helpless defending Larry Bird in game number 2, but scored 20 points himself in the opening game, has scored. And this will be a foul against the Rockets. We're at the Summit in Houston, Texas. Dick Stockton, Tom Heinsohn, and Brent Musburger here. Ralph Sampson has picked up his 2nd foul. The Rockets have come out strong and lead the Celtics 21-17. And Ralph Sampson thinks the ball was last touched by Boston.
Well, they're trying to work Sampson, get some fouls on him early, get one of those twin towers out of there.
Age. Rebound Reed. Here they come again. Sampson. Pass, bad pass, knocked away, and McHale at the other end gets an easy basket for Boston.
What a play by Dennis Johnson to step in and take a look like a sure hoop away on a 3-on-2 situation. Beautiful.
Big play by the Celtics. Sampson setting a screen for Reed, going in strong and drawing the foul. That's something he hasn't done yet this series.
We're going to take a look at Dennis Johnson right now. He's on the right side there, and he's playing the passing lane with his hand up. Beautiful defense, and then heads up to get it up to McHale. But the big guys on the Celtics are not getting up the court quick enough.
Walton commits the foul, and Robert Reed is shooting.
You know, that penetration move is probably the 2nd or 3rd one we've seen in the series by Robert Reed. I think that he can penetrate a lot more than he's shown so far, and it's a big weapon because the Celtics will be reluctant to leave Hakeem and Sampson to go block a shot.
He's 6'8". Robert Reed has the size to get in there. Of course, he's been a swing man, playing a lot of forward, mostly forward position, before the latter part of this year. 4-point lead for the Rockets, 23-19. Dennis Johnson inside, and Hakeem defending, and Walton is there. And the Celtics getting a lot of second chances with opportunities to pick up the loose ball and the rebound. 23-21 Houston. Celtics took a 4-2 lead, otherwise it's been the Rockets, but it's been close. Sampson with 9 on the clock. Hits again, 2 for 2 from out there.
Everybody would much prefer Ralph to take that shot from out there, but if he starts hitting, it's going to open up some drive for him.
Bird has McHale. McRae stays with Bird and blocks it. And now a foul is called. And it's going to be on Larry Bird after McRae had made a tremendous play.
I'll tell you, Larry Bird gets forced to his left, and McRae just hangs on his shooting hand. That was left hand, right hand defense, covered both ways that Bird might have taken the shot.
First foul on Bird, and McRae will go to the line as the Celtics are in the penalty.
I tell you, it's been a challenge for this man right here, Dick. Not to get demoralized, you know, let your ego go down, as Bird had that great game. And it can easily transfer to your offense, but it's not so far here in this ball game.
He's been a quiet leader on this club. He's out of Mount Vernon, New York, a town, a suburb of New York City that produced the Williams brothers, Gus and Ray. And he started Louisville, and he's a valuable performer. Rodney McRae has 6 points. Sampson leads the Rockets with 8. 6-point Houston lead, and another turnover. Rockets with their biggest lead right now. Hakeem. And Ainge gets the rebound, and the Celtics are running. We're having a running game for both teams today. Johnson. McHale tries to tip it in. Knocked away, and it's still Boston ball. Tell me, do the Celtics want to run like this against Houston?
Not really. They want to control the pace of the game, and they're having difficulties slowing it down. They've gotten into the rhythm that the Rockets have set.
Dennis Johnson. And Sampson holds on. That's 7 rebounds for Ralph Sampson. Lewis Lloyd against Ainge. Air ball, and Bird is there. 2:45 to go first period, and they'll call the foul against Olajuwon. And it's an unfortunate foul for Hakeem, who picks up his second. 2 on Ralph, 2 on Hakeem.
Well, you know, it may be unfortunate, but he hangs around the ball much too often for a big man, and things like this are going to happen. He should just turn his nose up and get up the other end of the court.
Let's get an update right now from Pat Summerall at the Kemper Open. Pat?
Larry Mize has just watched Greg Norman miss his birdie attempt. This was it a moment ago. That was for the win. Norman now has that left for par. Mize has a considerably longer distance, and that's for par too. That's to keep it alive. Boy, what a couple of clutch putts. First by Norman, then by Mize. And now Norman must make to keep it alive. And that is not an easy putt he has left. Especially not now, since Mize just hold his. A scrambling par for Larry Mize. If he makes, they go to the 3rd hole of sudden death, which would be the 18th. If he misses, Larry Mize is the champion. They'll go to 18. Back to Houston and Dick Stockton.
Thank you very much, Pat Summerall. Larry Bird hit the 2 free throws after Hakeem Olajuwon picked up his second foul. It's 27-23 Houston. 2.5 to play in the opening period. Sampson, who's hit 2 from out there, gets it in the hands of Lloyd with 3 seconds on the shot clock. And now Bird gets the rebound. And the Celtics will try to cut the margin to 2. The Rockets' biggest lead has been 6, but Boston has hovered between 2 and 6 points, mostly 4 in this period. Dennis Johnson, who hasn't hit yet, makes his first shot of the game, 1 for 6, and we have a 27-25 game.
Yeah, playing Bird pretty much one-on-one. Not too many doubles so far in this quarter.
Hakeem over McHale, and Walton got position inside from Sampson. Johnson gets by Lloyd. Celtics looking to tie the game here. Ainge into Bird. McHale crashing the board. Celtics fighting for the loose ball. Bird and Lloyd, no harm, no foul, and Ainge for 3. McHale the rebound, and the Celtics getting a lot of chances there. The ball knocked away. It is still Celtics ball, and the Celtics have had many chances in several instances so far. Jim Peterson is into the game, and Ralph Sampson goes out. He has scored 8 points.
I'll tell you, and what he did was good defensive rebounding and then hard runs up the court. Very important for this quick start by the Rockets.
Peterson has been a good rebounder and defensive player. Leaves something to be desired offensively, though.
But he is going to bang McHale.
Mitchell Wiggins has come in. Bird trying to go to McHale inside, and it's out of bounds. The 7th turnover by the Celtics in this opening period. And the Rockets going with Peterson up front and Mitchell Wiggins replacing Lewis Lloyd in the backcourt. 27-25 Houston. 1:11 to go, first period. Olajuwon, and they collapse around him. Reed is open. McRae fighting for the loose ball, and they're going to call a foul against the Celtics, and it'll be a shooting situation for Houston.
And Olajuwon read that double team very well. If Reed can make that shot, it's going to change Casey Jones' thinking on how to play Olajuwon.
These are the adjustments that coaches with teams trailing have to make from game to game.
I'll tell you, Robert Reed is into his ball game. Forget about that miss. That's his normal shot there, and he can make it. And he'll play the percentages that he can make it.
Rodney McRae. The Rockets are 8 for 9 from the free throw line. The Celtics have been perfect. Celtics set an NBA record for the finals, missing just 1 free throw in 24 tries in game 2. And Houston leads by 4 with a minute to go in the first period. This is game 3 of the NBA finals, and the Celtics lead 2 games to none. Houston trying to win their home games. And holding against the Houston Rockets sent Larry Bird to the floor. And Mitchell Wiggins with a personal foul, and the Celtics will try to go to the line again and keep their perfect mark there. Dennis Johnson.
That was a lesson that Dennis Johnson gave Wiggins on how to rub your man off on a pick. I mean, he took him as close to Bird as you could humanly take him and rubbed him off, and Wiggins had to hold him.
Dennis Johnson had 11 rebounds to lead the Celtics in the first game, but Mitchell Wiggins now at guard, not the open court player that Louis Lloyd was, a good defensive player as well.
And if he gets out on you, he can make some steals. He's got some good hands, but they're out to make this man, Dennis Johnson, work a lot harder than he has in the last couple of games. He worked pretty hard the last two.
Houston lead is down to 2, and that's the time remaining in the opening period. McHale is guarding Peterson. 2 former Minnesota stars. Wiggins, a streak shooter. When he gets going, he can be awfully tough. He hits his first shot, and it's 31-27, the Rockets. Walton out on high. Olajuwon right with him. Dennis Johnson, fall away. Hits.
I tell you, Mitchell Wiggins was right in his face.
Johnson has 8 points here in this opening period. And the Rockets with a 2-point lead playing for the last shot.
And they're playing fantastic defense here in this quarter, the Rockets.
Reed all the way in, blocked by McHale. 1 second. McRae, and it's good.
You're going to see it. A long rebound out. They scrap for it. Ainge can't control it, but McRae just sneaks up and picks it up and nicely turns around as the clock goes off.
It was similar to Sampson's shot that beat the Lakers, but he had a better line on this one, and the Rockets lead by 4. We played 1 period of Game 3 of the NBA Finals on CBS here in Houston. Capacity crowd of over 16,000 at the Summit, and the Rockets lead by 4. Larry Bird and Rodney McRae, each with 10, are the high scorers in the game. Tommy, Larry Bird is 4 for 7 shooting, but the rest of the Celtics are only at 35%.
You know, when you go on the road, the thing that evaporates quickly is your outside shooting. I think the various backgrounds, or the new background, is tough for a team to adjust to. The Rockets had the same trouble in Boston, and it looks like the Celtics are having that trouble here early in Houston.
Far difference, of course, with the lighting, the background, and the floor. But we're not looking at similar home courts. Jim Peterson with Reed and Olajuwon. Rodney McRae banks it in. 12 points for Rodney McRae, and so that matchup we talk about with Larry Bird could come into play again.
Well, if McRae, Bill Fitch feels, can outdo Bird offensively, that's a real big plus. All he wants him to do is stay close.
Bird stays close there with a jump shot that got the rim. 12 for Bird, 12 for McRae. By the way, McRae hasn't missed yet. In low to Hakeem, Walton, Bird, and Ainge trying to come over. Walton the rebound. Hakeem 2 for 7 from the field, has 5 points, but the Rockets are up by 4.
That was excellent defense by the Celtics that time by Hakeem.
Parish fighting through crowd. Walton gets the rebound and scores. Parish is playing with 3 personal fouls, and Casey Jones going with a big lineup.
He's got to try and get Parish into this game. He's not had the good offense so far in this series.
Ray Kite's coming in a moment. McRae, 4 for 4 thus far. Reed in 3-point territory. Goes in.
Beautiful move by Reed. He read the race out by Ainge and then went right by him.
McRae trying to deny Bird. Tough thing to do. Bird working his way in. Short this time, but Walton keeps it alive. Bird for 3. Wiggins clawing inside. Parish the rebound and a whistle. A whistle and a Houston foul holding inside. And Jim Peterson picks up his first foul.
Here's Reed. Dennis Johnson races at him, and that allows Reed to take it strong to the hoop. He says, I don't care how many shots they block at me. I'm taking it strong to the basket.
Greg Kite, a native of Houston, Texas, in the game right now for the Celtics as Walton hits outside, and Bill Walton, who is voted the top 6th man, is off to a hot start. He has 6 points in the game, 5 rebounds, and the Celtics have out-rebounded the Rockets.
I bet you for minutes played, he's been the leading rebounder on the Celtics team.
Wiggins has Dennis Johnson behind him. Open is Reed, but Hakeem takes it himself on the baseline. He's trying to get on track himself, Tommy.
Well, they have been really confusing him a little bit about reading the defense. Sometimes they fake a double, sometimes they fake that phantom triple.
Bird, great pass from Dennis Johnson, and a foul. So the Celtics going with a front line now of Kite, Walton, and Bird, with Parish back on the bench with the 3 fouls. And we'll have a personal on Rodney McHale when we come back to Red Hot Houston. Larry Bird did not get a chance for 2 shots on this play, but what an up fake by him here.
You can't take your eyes off Larry Bird. If you do, he beats you. If you take your eye off the ball, he beats you. The Celtics make you pay. Good up fake that time. And Rodney McHale said, they just beat you with every half inch.
Jerry Seasting has come in the ball game for the Celtics. They wanted to get him underway in game 2, and they did. He scored 10 points on 5 for 8 shooting. Let's take a look at the rebounding story, where the Celtics have the lead, and a lot of them off the offensive glass, and many of them by Bill Walton.
But their shooting has not come along in this first half, the Celtics, particularly the outside shooting, which they've used very effectively to set up their inside game.
Outside shooting can come and go. Good defense never does it? Peterson is all over Walton. McHale on Bird. They isolate him one-on-one. Celtics like that situation. And a left-handed shot by Larry Bird, who's in his own little world sometime out there.
But they are not doubling Larry Bird, so they're really trying to stop the other Celtics. They'll let him score.
Greg Kite picks up the foul, and that's the first team foul by the Celtics in the second period. 3 minutes gone by. The Rockets leading by 2, 39-37. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Reed using his height, hits the jumper, and Robert Reed with 8 points in the game.
That's taking advantage of the short man, a 6'8" guard being defended by a 6'1" guard.
Dennis Johnson, line drive off the front rim, and the Rockets with a rebound. That's the first rebound, by the way, by Hakeem Olajuwon. Robert Reed going again up top, and they'll have a foul. It'll be against Boston. And Bill Walton will get hit with the personal foul, his second.
We're going to see Larry Bird one-on-one against McHale. He knows McHale is going to come back to his right hand, and he shoots it lefty to confuse him a little bit. I'll tell you, he gets you guessing every which way. You don't know which hand he's using, which way he's faking. Beautiful.
McHale has into the ball game now. Celtics with Walton, McHale, and Bird. Tommy, let me ask you, with Robert Parish hampered with 3 personal fouls, Bill Walton, who's okay with that thigh bruise the other day, how much can Walton really play to be effective?
Well, I think the longest he's played this season is about 30 minutes, but he's been averaging just a shade under 20, so he ought to be able to give him some strong minutes.
5-point lead for the Rockets, 8:25 to go in the first half. Bird off a screen, and Larry Bird with 16 points in the ball game. He is the game's high scorer. He had 31 points, just part of the story Thursday night. McHale has McHale in his face. Bird against Olajuwon. Great play by Bird, and it was still Houston ball as Bird had stepped on the line or knocked the ball onto the line.
Well, I'll tell you, that was fantastic defense by Larry Bird. That's his weakness, playing low post players, and he forced Olajuwon to shoot the ball from behind the backboard.
6-point lead. 43-37. Now it's 43-39, and a 3-point shot by Robert Reed, who has 9 points here in the second period. And he's come alive for the Rockets.
He can get the shot off anytime he wants against the smaller Seasting.
McHale fighting inside. Walk. Too many steps. And another violation. And Casey Jones not pleased with Joe Crawford. Seasting is guarding Reed. Has a big height advantage there. Wiggins. 2 for 2. 9-point lead for the Houston Rockets.
Remember, Dick, we said this series may be determined by how well the guards play. Here's another one that's showing up. The better guard play does it.
The guard story has been major with Danny Ainge and Robert Reed. Just to show you that matchup, how Reed has been struggling from the field. Danny Ainge has been shooting well, but Reed has come alive. And he has 13 points, and the Rockets on a 9-2 run primarily because of their guard play.
I'll tell you, Robert Reed said yesterday that we just spent too much time, particularly me, developing the inside game. I'm going for my shot today. That's how I feel we can get us going, for me to start going to the hoop, and he's done it effectively.
And he's gone to the hoop. He's hit the outside shot, and what he's done, he's given the Rockets that extra dimension that they've lacked, and a good all-round game for Reed.
That's going to take Danny Ainge out of that double-teaming defense when he gets back in the ball game.
Ainge in the game with Seasting in the backcourt. Reed and Ainge are matched up again. Fighting through a pick. McRae and Peterson. McHale was setting it, and Bird winds up on the floor again. A Houston foul.
Don't set a pick in this game, I'll tell you. Watch McHale come over to try and set a pick, and Peterson just throws him into McRae. It looked more like you take a McRae like a football play.
Foul is on Peterson, his second. Into McHale. McHale scored 4 points so far. Reed the rebound. McRae. Celtics started a run as soon as that ball came off the rim. Seasting. Bird getting by McRae with another left-handed shot. This time Wiggins. Outlets to McRae. Olajuwon filling. Peterson inside. Stripped away by Danny Ainge. Ainge. And the Celtics answering the Rockets' running game with one of their own.
You know, Sampson's been on the bench for an awful long time. But Peterson's been playing pretty well, banging people around. So I think Fitch is saving him.
Wiggins had knocked Ainge away, and there's Ralph on the bench. He went out with 8 points. Bill Fitch has seen Mitchell Wiggins commit the foul, offensive foul. And Lewis Lloyd, once again, an early trip to the Pines.
But you can't let some of these players dry out, you know. They lose their rhythm. Sampson really was in the flow of the game. Casey Jones now being forced to use some players that he probably wouldn't want to use at this stage of the ball game.
22nd timeout by Boston. David Thurkill will give Larry Bird a rest. And while we have a moment, we want to remind you that Tuesday night we'll be with you here at the Summit for Game 4 of the NBA Finals starting at 9 o'clock Eastern. Celtics and Rockets. This game will determine a lot of what that game will mean.
I'll tell you that. But what I'm seeing here, Dick, is more consistent pace of the game the way the Rockets like to have it. Upbeat. Boston has not been able to truly get to their low post game, move the defense around. And it's been very, very good defense by the Rockets here in this first half action.
Houston shooting over 50%. Celtics under 50. Like taking a look now, Bird and Reed, the leading scorers in the game. Winding down to 6 minutes to go in the first half. Rockets by 7, trailing 2-0 in the series. Boston winning impressively twice at Boston Garden. Ainge back to Walton. Seasting in the crowd. Back to Ainge with 2 seconds and traveling call. Celtics did not organize that offensive sequence very well.
You know, Jerry Seasting, being guarded by Robert Reed, has difficulty getting his shot off against a taller player.
9 turnovers by Boston, and Ainge steals one. That's another one against Houston. Ainge going strong in against Robert Reed. Tipped up. No basket. No basket. Offensive interference on third kill.
A third kill will give them hustle up the court, and that type of rebounding, a good sign his head is in the game.
And he's a good defensive player as well. He's guarding McHale, who so far has scored 12. Seasting on Reed. Seasting pushes Peterson out of the way. Wiggins short. Walton the rebound. Walton playing a lot of minutes this first half.
Out of necessity.
And producing as well. He has 6 points, does Bill Walton. McHale blocked by Olajuwon. Ainge inside. No basket and a foul. Ainge was open but decided to get the ball inside, and a Houston foul. And Hakeem Olajuwon now with 3 personal fouls. Bill Fitch has to go to the bench.
Well, that pass Danny Ainge did not that he made to McHale, he passed up an open shot, was probably more important than the 2 points, because it picked up the 3rd foul on Olajuwon.
And forces Ralph Sampson, who has 2 fouls, back in the game. McHale working against Peterson. McHale has scored 20 or more points in 13 of 14 playoffs. He has 6 in this one. Seasting battling Reed, giving up 7 inches. 4:50 to go, first half. Peterson on a screen. Reed. Loose ball foul against the Rockets. And the Celtics, who were down by 9, now find themselves trailing by 5.
This is the point in the ball game when Olajuwon is on the bench that Ralph Sampson has to come to the fore and get the job done. He considers himself a leader of this ball club. He's got to control the boards and help on that team defense in close to the hoop.
He has that cut, 5 stitches taken in his left eye. After he was hit in game number 2, he went 1 for 13 from the field and disappeared in the opening game. Lewis Lloyd comes in for Mitchell Wiggins for the Rockets. And of course, earlier in the year, Sampson went out when he suffered that back bruise on a terrible fall, so he was the happiest guy to get out of Boston. 6 in a row by the Celtics. 4:39 to go, first half. Sampson. And a Boston foul.
That was great offensive move by Sampson. A quick move to the middle. And I'll tell you, that's what they need more from Sampson at a low post. Don't put the ball on the floor for more than 1 dribble. A quick spin move, he's going to beat anybody down there.
A technical foul has been called on Bill Fitch. Technical on Bill Fitch, who has been angry through most of his first half, though his team has been leading time.
He's had a biting wit over the years, and that time he bit a little bit too much off.
Here's Bird. And the lead has been sliced to 2.
Celtics, without Olajuwon being on the court, will peck away on the inside game. Sampson's really got to help in his shot blocking department, and then that defensive rebounding department.
Kite comes back in, and Walton sits out. Walton scored 6 points, picked up 3 fouls, but he also had 6 rebounds, and he really was a key man up front for Boston.
Well, he plays really good defense, but right now, Ray Kite is the guy that can get fouls. Casey won't be too concerned about it. He'll probably put him on Ralph Sampson and let Kite muscle him a little bit. That is Sampson's weakness, his strength in his legs.
He missed both free throws. And the Celtics with a chance to tie. Foul trouble. 2 Celtics centers, 1 Rockets center with 3. 4:19 to go. Seasting wide open. Sampson almost tipped it in. And the Rockets get the rebound. Lloyd. Lewis Lloyd. 6 points for Lloyd.
Didn't cool off on the bench.
He hadn't scored. The Rockets hadn't scored in over 3 minutes. And now with a missed shot from the corner. McHale feeding Lloyd. And the Rockets with an opportunity going by the boards, and Bird handling the ball. Ainge is open. Ainge. McHale. And the basket's good, and a Houston foul. Jim Peterson. Coming up at halftime, Brent Musburger and our special guest, George Mikan. The first great big man with the Minneapolis Lakers of the NBA, and you'll get an inside look at Robert Reed, the leader of the Houston Rockets. Coming up with Brent at halftime. Rockets by 2 in the half-court offense to Sampson, guarded by Kite, doubled with Ainge. Reed misses a 3, and McHale clears.
Boy, they just formed a cup, the Celtics, for that rebound.
And they can tie it up again. Rockets had a 9-point lead. Bird can give the Celtics the lead. Not this time, and Sampson. McRae, Lloyd. Good fast break, Houston.
Boy, they're advancing the ball with a pass. Something they hadn't done in the prior game.
Quickly back Dennis Johnson, looking for McHale. Good defense by Peterson, who's playing with 3 fouls. Ainge. Big basket. And it's 52-50, and the Celtics hang right with them with 2:30 to go in the half.
Yeah, the Celtics right now, with their foul troubles on Robert Parish, are in a very good position going into halftime.
And a Celtic foul against Greg Kite, his second foul. 4th team foul against the Boston Celtics. And an official's timeout with 2:27 to go in the half, and a tight, taut game. The fast break, a key weapon in this series.
I'll tell you, one of the problems they've had is not getting that ball up there with the pass too much. Sampson, 2 dribbles, 3 dribbles, but now gets it up, and that allows them to beat Danny Ainge and get more people on the break and create passing angles, so guys coming to the hoop will be open. That has not been happening in the prior games. They worked for 2 hours on their fast break in practice yesterday.
And the Rockets shooting 50% to the Celtics 45. Good balanced scoring for Houston, with Reed with 13, McRae 12. Sampson, Olajuwon, and Lloyd hovering around 10. Bird has 19, far and away the high score. And on that fast break, Houston has made hay a lot more, converting 7 of 16. McRae misses, and Kite gets the rebound with 2:19 to go. First half, it's been all Houston. Their lead has been up to 9 and down to 2. We have had 3 ties and 6 lead changes in the game. McHale from Bird, and a foul against the Rockets, who have been in the penalty, and Kevin McHale will go to the line.
That was one of those smart plays that the Celtics like to do on the away side of the court from the ball. They caught the defense napping that time, and Peterson has scurried back, ended up with the foul.
And that's his 4th personal foul, Tommy, and that's going to bring in Hank McDowell, who had not played that much. Keep in mind that McDowell came in when Olajuwon was ejected in the Denver series. This is the 5th team he's been in with the NBA, was with Houston last year, had knee problems, and probably is the most experienced of the backups that Bill Fitch has to call on.
He's not as physical, obviously, as some of the other players. Doesn't have that big, strong body, but he is a finesse player and can shoot the ball, and he plays pretty good defense.
We have our first tie since the game was knotted up at 11-11. Under 2 minutes to go in the first half. Sampson going inside, missing. And Ralph saves it for the Rockets. Rockets led by 9, and the Celtics have chipped away. Lloyd picked up by Dennis Johnson. Ducks inside. Sampson with the rebound against Kite, and a Boston foul. Parish picked up 3 fouls early, and Greg Kite has 3 fouls, so foul trouble could very well be a story as we move along in this game. Parish, Walton, and Kite have 3 for Boston. Olajuwon has 3, and Peterson 4 for the Rockets.
Yeah, Ralph Sampson that time really showed me how much he wants this game. He went right to the boards and spread out and took that rebound.
11 rebounds already for Ralph Sampson. Keep in mind, a lot of people have said that when Olajuwon is out of there and he has to play center, he's a different player than when he's a forward.
I think he feels that he has to lead the team then. Instead of playing finesse, he concentrates on size, not speed.
Dennis Johnson has his shot tipped away by McRae. 1:26 to go, 2-point Rocket lead, and Bird almost had the steal. Lloyd. Sampson, and a whistle. And Jake O'Donnell wants to get Sampson away as it gets hot and heavy inside. It'll be a Boston Celtic foul.
Foul call on Boston number 32.
And Kevin McHale with his first foul of the game. Celtics are in the penalty, and so the Rockets will shoot.
You watch McRae now step right in there on DJ and make a beautiful block. I'll tell you, there are more than 2 shot blockers on this Rockets team.
That's 2 outstanding defensive plays by McRae. We saw what he did with Bird before, and now he did it on that situation.
You know, he doesn't say too much, McRae, but he does get the job done. Bill Fitch loves him as a player.
1 out of 2 for Lloyd. And it's 55-52, the Rockets. 1:15 to go in the first half. Houston trailing 2-0. Kite setting a screen. Lloyd trying to fight through. No pick and roll. Kite outside. Ainge. Reed comes out to meet him. Good rotation by Houston defensively against the guards. Dennis Johnson hits anyway, but the Rockets played it well.
That's what the Celtics need to do. Move that ball around. Make the Rockets play a lot more defense than they have been.
1-point lead now for Houston with under a minute to play. You see the time. Robert Reed hits from outside. He has 15 points, 11 of them here in the second period. And once again, we see a lot of the symbols of Houston's victory over the Lakers, getting the key jump shot when they needed it, like Reed there.
And that guard, like Reed, hits that outside shot. That destroys your attempts to go back in and help on the inside game.
Again, a 3-point lead for Houston, and another foul called against the Rockets. This time it'll be against McDowell, his first foul.
Yeah, but he did what you're supposed to do. Keep McHale right out of the sweet spot, in close to the basket. You're going to lay a body on him and say, you can't go where you want to go. I'm getting you off that block at least 2 feet away. So he got called for it, but at least McHale knows he's going to have a fight on his hands to get to the good position.
There's the free throw story. Celtics, who missed 23 for 24 in game 2, are now 12 out of 14 in this one, after a poor free throw shooting game in the opener. Rockets by 2, 33 seconds remaining, 15 on the shot clock. They're in the first half. Houston led by 4 after 1 period, and Ralph Sampson gets a basket and a foul, and he is a different player in Houston.
The summit is his, but he really got great position. Look at him really spreading out now and swing into and over 3 of the Celtics. Look at that reaction.
12 points, 13 points now, and 12 rebounds for Ralph Sampson in a great first half. Greg Kite picked up his 4th personal foul. 26 seconds to go. 2-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock in the first half. A 5-point Rocket lead. Their biggest lead was 9. They led by 4 after 1. McHale on a pick and roll as Bird found him inside, and it's down to 3, and the Rockets will play for the last shot. Down to 5, 60-55. No, it's 60-57. The scoreboard clock was wrong. And a Boston foul, not the kind you want to make, and Kite with number 5. So, Tommy, Robert Parish is going to have to play with 3 fouls, I think, early on in the second half, don't you think?
I would think so. Either that or Walton will come in, and they'll take his chances with him. But I think probably Casey will bring Parish in so that he doesn't spend too long on the bench and dry out.
Sampson missing the free throw. There's Parish, who has scored 2 points and picked up the fouls early.
He just had horrible hands in the first quarter. Couldn't hold on to the ball.
Greg Kite picked up 5 fouls in 7 minutes of action. 61-57, Dennis Johnson. And a foul called against the Rockets with 3 seconds to go. And the Celtics can cut it to 2 before intermission. Robert Reed with the foul. Dennis Johnson and Lewis Lloyd, a key matchup coming in. Casey Jones said he was concerned with Lewis Lloyd, who had not produced all that much in the first 2 games. Dennis Johnson had done everything, particularly rebounding and drawing fouls with that penetration. And a technical foul has now been called against Greg Kite of the Celtics, who has 5 fouls. He's a native of Houston, and they're not giving him quite a welcome on his return here.
Definitely not, but I think Kite feels that they keep calling it on his jersey, not his game.
Reed hits the technical, and it's 62-57, and Dennis Johnson will shoot a pair.
Dennis Johnson, let me say this, has been instrumental in playing a very physical series against a lot of bigger people. He's been blocking out the likes of Olajuwon and Sampson and McHale. And in addition to that, staying close to Lewis Lloyd when he's had to.
Sampson, an intense performance today with 14 points and 12 rebounds. Olajuwon with 3 fouls has been on the bench scoring just 7 points. So the Rockets show they can thrive without Hakeem.
Sampson established himself while Hakeem was out.
And he's done that. Did it in game 2 against the Lakers. Ralph Sampson trying to prove his detractors wrong. And we have a 20-second timeout called by Bill Fitch with 3 seconds to go. Ample time to set something up. And I guess when you look at what the Rockets did with the Lakers, 1 second is ample time to set something up.
Well, let's see how the Celtics defend this play, knowing that Sampson has that great leaping ability, and see if they get all over the inbounder. That's what you'll probably try and do, is lob it up there if you can and let Sampson go for it. Oh, it's going to be in the backcourt. They're going to have to take it out in the backcourt. So,
and some of the fans have threw some things on the court, and they're going to have to put an end to that. A couple of objects have been thrown on. Alan Level has come into the ball game replacing Hank McDowell. Level's first appearance, going for ball handling and quickness. They get the ball into Reed, lost the ball. Dennis Johnson picks it up, and the buzzer sounds. That's the end of the first half. The Celtics won't be happy at all with their performance. They played better, but no one's perfect. And they were perfect in the first 2 games. And for the Houston Rockets, some hope. They lead 62-59. Brent Musburger coming up at the half. The Houston Rockets can ill afford to feel comfortable at Game 3, halftime of the 1986 NBA Finals. Despite the fact that they have played a much better game, they find that their lead is only 3 over the Boston Celtics. What's surprising there, field goal percentage is Boston's 43. Parish, Ainge, and Johnson are 7 of 24 for the Celtics. Let's move along to the free throws, where the Rockets have finally found a way to go to the line, and they did more than the Celtics did in the first half. Backcourt has been a problem for the Houston Rockets in relation to the Celtics in the scoring department, but in the first half, the Rocket backcourt outscored the Celtic guards 29-19. Tommy Heinz, I want to ask you 2 things. Number 1, the foul trouble we have here, and 2, I'm going to ask you about the third period, which has been the key to Boston's victory so far.
Well, I think the foul trouble here, obviously, with 3 on Hakeem, it's going to interrupt their low post game. But they were going to Sampson more anyway, and Sampson's really been playing a fantastic game. Olajuwon only had 1 rebound in that first half and no offensive rebounds. So they've got to get him more involved. I'll tell you this, the third quarter defense is most important. That's where the Celtics have come to the fore. They've used the same look offense to try and then jump on it defensively and take the game away. But the Rockets have run so effectively here in the first half, I don't know if they can do it.
You can see how the Celtics have dominated Houston in the third period of these games, and keep in mind that every once in a while, we talked about it last game in particular, the Celtics put on a spurt sparked by the defense that pulls them away. And I'd have to think, down by 3 points, the Celtics really are not in bad shape right now.
No, they're not. Particularly with Parish, who really didn't have his game hands on. I've never seen Parish fumble a ball as many times as he did in that first quarter. And he has to really do the job. He did a creditable rebounding job, but offensively gave Casey nothing.
2 points and 3 fouls for Robert Parish. There's the foul situation that I think we're going to be going a lot to. in the second half, and Parish will start it out along with McHale and Bird and Dennis Johnson and Danny Ainge. Lewis Lloyd and Robert Reed in the backcourt for the Rockets. It'll be McRae, Ralph Sampson, and Hakeem Olajuwon up front. Houston ball. Reed has scored 16 points. 5 of 11 shooting. Danny Ainge a little tighter defensively, and Reed threw the ball away, and it's Boston ball. Let's see how the Celtics start out here and who they go to.
Well, Bill Fitch has to be unhappy with that. Got to take more care of the ball than just shown that time by Reed.
Turnovers about even. Ainge looking for Parish. McHale goes up, lost the ball. McRae, good control, knocked away by Danny Ainge. Another fast break opportunity by the Rockets turns into 2 points for the Celtics. A McHale basket and a foul, and a chance for Boston to tie the game right here.
I tell you, Danny Ainge just made a spectacular defensive play. He's got 4 guys coming at him, and he just steps in and nicely takes the ball away. Beautiful defensive play.
Reed commits the foul, and this is where the Rockets are going to have to show that they won't crack. They turned it over, lost the fast break opportunity. The Celtics got one in a foul and tied it up.
You've got to have your head together right now, Rockets.
I called you a coach of the Rockets before the game, so you can say that. Reed looking for Sampson. Try to get Parish into a 4th foul. Lloyd going in, lost control. Johnson ahead to Larry Bird. Bird gives the Celtics a lead. 21 for Larry Bird, 64-62. And Bill Fitch will want to call a timeout, and it's the first time that the Boston Celtics have had a lead since early in the game when they had an 8-7 edge. And Bill Fitch can't like what he's seen so far in the period. History is against the Houston Rockets to come back from 2-0 deficit. These are the only teams that have done it in the NBA Finals. Celtics against the Lakers, and Portland won 4 in a row after losing 2 to Philadelphia. There have been 2 other instances, not in NBA Finals, where the teams have come from 2-0 deficit. But that's the hurdle the Rockets face, and after a timeout, let's see how the Rockets respond. Lloyd inside, Hakeem, and it's last touched by Sampson. So the Rockets still tentative, and there's a long pass to McHale. And McHale, after several fakes, gives the Celtics a 4-point lead, their biggest of the game.
And a little inexperience by Olajuwon, who was sleepwalking back on defense, and Bird made him pay.
I'm sure Bill Fitch said, let's get Olajuwon into the game a little bit. He still has 7 points. Celtics have outscored the Rockets 7-0. And Olajuwon's shot is blocked. McHale's outless to Dennis Johnson. Behind it, Ainge. Parish against Sampson. Having trouble holding on to the ball. 11 on the shot clock for Boston. Parish gets it back against Hakeem, who has 3 fouls. He missed Sampson. McRae. And Rodney McRae goes up. He doesn't get the layup. And the Celtics with a 4-on-2 right now. Danny Ainge. Bird with a runner, left-handed. He's done a lot of the left-handed shots today.
Bird played great defense on that fast break by the Rockets. He angled McRae off, made him take a tough shot.
Rockets still haven't scored here in the 3rd period in more than 2.5 minutes gone by. And Olajuwon loses it. And the Rockets are having problems. McHale and Bird. And McHale tries to tip it in and doesn't. Bird is there. Both teams having trouble scoring after the Celtics scored the first 7 this period, but the Rockets having trouble just holding on to the ball.
Boston with 2 offensive rebounds that time that did not fall.
Foul before the shot, no basket. Robert Reed is fouled. That'll be the first foul against the Celtics. Houston already has turned it over 4 times with just under 9 minutes to go here in this 3rd period.
When you're pushing the ball up the court the way the Rockets are trying to do it, you have to have your head up and be reading who's back on defense. They're oblivious to green jerseys back there.
Sampson setting a pick. Reed, top of the key. Bird gets the rebound. And the Celtics with a 4-point lead. Dennis Johnson long range, and the Celtics are up by 6. And Bill Fitch wants a 20-second timeout. And what we talk again about third period magic by the Boston Celtics, and they've done it here and lead 68-62. Tommy, the Rockets have yet to score.
I'll tell you, they are not taking good shots. They are not reading the defense. Olajuwon threw one away and then gave up an easy basket up the other end when he fell asleep, being mad at himself, so to speak, to McHale. So they've got to get their heads in the game and play tough, aggressive basketball. Larry Bird right now is saying these guys are giving us a crack to crawl through, and let's take advantage of it.
Celtics have outscored the Rockets 9-0. 3.5 minutes have gone by. Houston has not gotten a point yet. 68-62, Boston. Houston led most of the way in the first half by as much as 9. Celtics chipped away, and now illegal defense called against Boston by Joey Crawford.
In an attempt to stop the double teams and Danny Ainge getting involved with Olajuwon and Bird, they're making Lou Lloyd make the feeds into the low post more than McRae.
That's the warning. Second time that's called against the Celtics will be a technical. Dennis Johnson slams the ball off of Jake O'Donnell into the hands of Robert Parish. So the ball bounces against the Rockets again. Danny Ainge misses. McRae gets the rebound. And Bird, anticipating beautifully, picks it off. Open is Dennis Johnson. And the Celtics are rolling right now. They've outscored the Rockets 11-0. 7:45 remaining in this period.
Mental mistakes by the Rockets.
And if the Rockets don't get their act together, they may be out of this game early as they were in game 2. Lloyd with a fake finally puts the Rockets on the board. 4.5 minutes.
Good ball movement that time by the Rockets. Sampson read the defense beautifully.
4.5 minutes, the Rockets went without scoring. And then McHale comes right back. And the pressure continues for the Celtics against the Rockets, leading by 8. Sampson, Bird doubling on. Dennis Johnson on Lloyd. McHale the rebound. Celtics with Johnson pushing it up, trying to open up a 10-point lead. Danny Ainge, pass to Bird for 3. And Olajuwon gets a rebound, and Robert Parish called for the loose ball foul. Will be number 4 on Parish.
You know, when big guys get going bad, sometimes they never get it on track till the next game.
And Bill Walton is going to come back in the game, and he has 3 fouls.
You're going to watch Dennis Johnson dribble the ball up this side of the court where there's the least amount of pressure, and all the Celtics hustling down, putting pressure on the defense. There is a 2-on-1 situation here. 2 Celtics that Dennis Johnson is going to take advantage of. It goes right through the defense now to Danny Ainge. Across the court, McRae has to adjust, and that leaves Bird all alone in the corner. That's thinking basketball.
And the Celtics may not be hitting all their shots, but they're controlling the boards offensively. The field goal percentage, Houston, 17%. Boston is shooting the same way so far in the third as they did in the first half, and another Rocket turnover. They're playing in a fog right now.
Bird is just out finessing McRae when he's trying to make that pass.
7 turnovers against the Rockets this period. And the Celtics sensing something here. Walton turns around, and even on a broken play, the Celtics score, and Bill Walton with 8 points.
Olajuwon had to go pick up Bird. That left Walton steaming in for the hoop.
10-point lead for the Celtics, and that's the biggest lead either team has had in this third game. Sampson goes up and draws the foul. We can talk about the Rocket guards playing better, but they're going to have to get production from Olajuwon and Sampson. There's the turnovers that turn things around. 4 fouls now on Walton, so Walton and Parish each with 4 personal fouls, and Sampson will go to the line. Alan Level is checked into the game, replacing Rodney McRae for the Rockets.
Well, put Robert Reed on Bird, and Danny Ainge will probably take Allen Level.
So Reed moves to forward, and Lloyd and Level remain in the backcourt, and Ralph Sampson misses a free throw. Sampson 4 for 8 from the line in this game. And the woes continue for Houston on the line.
I tell you, Sampson is doing his darndest. He's gotten some great low post position against two pretty physical players that the Celtics have thrown at him, Bill Walton and Robert Parish. So they ought to be going to him a little bit more now in this quarter.
Under 6 minutes to go in the third period. It's been all Celtics here in the third period. Larry Bird with a great pass to Walton to McHale, and that is Celtic basketball.
They lifted all the towers, the Celtics. They've been waiting to do that, I think, the last 2 games.
Robert Reed looking inside. And illegal defense, a technical now, called against the Celtics. Second time it's been called. Tommy, I don't know whether it's going to be the best of all time, but great passing for sure by the Celtics.
Watch this. Bird knows that there's somebody coming over to block the shot. So does Walton. 2 best passes. The Towers got caught up in judgment on when to go for the block. Not much you could do about it either. I mean, Boston played it beautifully.
Level will shoot the technical foul. Tommy, at the top of the game, I asked you if you were the Houston coach, what would you do to get him back in the game? And you talked about the fast break, which they did, and getting the guards into play, which they did. But I'd ask you the same question right now because they've lost a lot of steam and trailed by 11.
I'd say, Dick, what you got to do at this juncture for the Rockets, I think Bill Fitch has got Allen Level in there to control the fast break a little bit better and hope to get that steaming fast break going as effectively as it did the first half.
Yet the Celtics have outscored the Rockets 17-4 here in this third period. It's been a Boston period in this series. Olajuwon goes up, draws the foul. We haven't seen much of Hakeem offensively. He has scored only 7 points, but will go to shoot 2 here.
Well, that's not a bad man to start going to. The Celtics have surrounded him all day in one form or another, but he got super position on McHale that time.
Foul is on Bird, his second, but they didn't really double the big guys after the outside people showed that they could hit the shot.
That's right, and Hakeem really didn't just get his game going. I think as much as he wants to win here, he got outfoxed a little bit by the defense the Celtics are throwing at him. He was looking for doubles and triples, and it wasn't there.
8-point lead with 5:14 remaining in the third period. Celtics scored the first 11 points this period. Bird, Reed guarding him, offensive foul Bird. And that'll be 3 on Larry Bird. So Robert Reed now on Larry Bird, who has scored 2 of his 21 here in this period.
When you start playing guards on defense, it makes your feet quicker. He's going to be able to get through those picks guarding Bird.
Bird is on him, doubling on Olajuwon, and Hakeem comes back. Rockets are going to need Hakeem to get into the offense. The lead is cut to 6.
They're doing a smart thing, Dick. They're bringing him to the ball, starting him on the away side, and then bringing him to the ball, and not giving him the same low post look.
Timeout Boston. Rockets trying to creep back after a horrible opening moments here in the third period in game number 3 here at Houston Summit.
You're going to see a great heady move by the Celtics on that cut by Larry Bird where they lift both the twin towers. Here's Bird beats Reed. It forces a move by Olajuwon. That leaves Walton open. Sampson has to adjust. And the next thing there is Kevin McHale. But watch the smile on his face as he comes up the court. He said, we got them both up in the air.
Tommy, the jury's still out as to whether the Celtics can be considered the greatest team of all time. Other people will decide that. The series isn't over, but greatest passing team, they'd have to be right up there.
They have more fun doing stuff like they just showed than even scoring baskets.
Larry Bird, by the way, is 1 assist short of a triple-double. He has 21 points, 10 rebounds, 9 assists. He has 4 steals in the ball game, and another all-round performance by number 33 in the Celtics, who lead by 6 with 4:40 remaining in the third period.
Now, Lewis Lloyd will have to carry the scoring in the backcourt for the Rockets.
Dennis Johnson driving and a Houston foul. Lloyd trying to stay with Dennis Johnson. And DJ shaken up, not getting up so quickly.
You're going to see him now. Louis Lloyd is trying to really get out in front of him, stop him a little bit, but hooks him. And you can see Dennis got banged on the knee.
Casey Jones was concerned enough to walk up the floor a bit to see how his star guard was faring. 4.5 to go.
And Dennis is still limping.
Noticeably. McHale. Sampson and Olajuwon, and Walton nearly got it from both of them.
In between the Twin Towers, just couldn't hold on to it.
Celtic lead was 10. Now it's 6 with 4:13 to go in the third. Rockets coming back from a sleepwalking opening few minutes here when they were outscored 11-0. Level is wide open. That's the closest he's come. He has struggled from the field since he suffered that broken wrist late in the year.
Well, he took a long layoff. What he's really doing on his outside shot is drifting a little bit.
Dennis Johnson. Fade away. Bird is there. Larry Bird alert. Gets the basket. 23 for Larry Bird. And the lead is 8 now for Boston. Lloyd. Going in. Ainge and Olajuwon very nearly committed his 4th personal foul. Open is Dennis Johnson. Reed picks him up in a hurry. Bird left open. Level had to pick him up. Now Sampson. Walton comes in out of nowhere and tips it in. That's the Celtic teamwork. Walton playing an outstanding game. Dick Stockton and Tom Heinze, 10-point lead for the Celtics. 3:09 to go, Game 3 of the NBA Finals in Houston. Celtics trying to make a 3-0 lead out of it. Olajuwon is fouled, and this third period has belonged to the Green.
Whatever way he wants to go to the basket, they're cutting him off. Whatever spin move, right or left, they have a man dropping in to impede him.
Big story today, the Celtics on the offensive board. Olajuwon has not been the factor he was in Game 1, and he only scored 4 points in the second half of Game number 2.
You know, you can see the hard double team that comes immediately as he catches the ball, but there's more subtle double and triple teaming he's not picking up the way a more experienced player would.
Under 3 minutes to go, third period. One-on-one isolation. Bird against Reed. Gets help with 10 seconds. Ainge. Walton. And Sampson blocks it out of bounds. 5 seconds on the clock for the Celtics to try a shot.
Tell me about Ralph Sampson after this one, will you? I mean, he's playing his heart out.
Bird. And Sampson with another rebound. That's 15 for Ralph. You're right. Level. Looking into Olajuwon. Hakeem off balance. Walton the rebound. Celtics defensed him well in there.
He's not able to take the ball strong to the middle.
Trailer is Walton. Gets the pass from McHale. Outlet, good outlet by Sampson. 3-on-2. Lloyd. Favorite shot of Louis Lloyd.
Boy, when he gets the ball out like that, Ralph Sampson, they're off and running. They're beating the Celtics at the fast break. The Celtics' weakness, no foot speed.
This is without John Lucas, their point guard, who was waived. They've had to go without him. Dennis Johnson blocked by Hakeem. DJ again draws the foul. Used his body well there.
Could have traveled on that one before. Moved his foot on the fake, but a lot greater things have been missed here in this ball game today.
And Dennis Johnson quietly has had another fine game.
Here you see him. He gets the ball back. Good shot block, but there was the little walk.
And a foul, more important, on Olajuwon, his 4th. 4 on Hakeem. He was the MVP of the '79 playoffs with Seattle.
I think that was very important for him, that series against LA. We're looking at Thurkill.
Replacing Bird, who goes out with 23.
But Dennis Johnson I think, has found a real brother in Casey Jones. Most of the coaches had trouble controlling Dennis Johnson, not Casey Jones. He believes in him.
Dennis Johnson, 8 for 8 from the line, 18 points in the game. 1:43 to go in the third period. Celtics were trailing by 3 at the half, down by 4 after 1 period. They've had an 10-point lead. And around Sampson with a short jump hook has 17 points. And Sampson is becoming the leader of this Rocket rally if they can do it. Hakeem with 4 fouls on Walton, who has 4. Stabbed at the ball, took a risk there. Setting a screen is Walton for Dennis Johnson. Hakeem on the switch. 4 on the clock, and McHale throws it away, and that's the best defense the Rockets have shown this period. With a chance to cut it to 4. Reed does just that. Under a minute to go in the third period.
Very important, the injury to Scott Wedman for the Celtics. They needed his offense in situations just like this when Bird is on the bench.
47 seconds out of bounds. There's Scott Wedman, who has fractured ribs and likely will not play, although he has hopes he might. We understand we have some electrical storms that has caused problems in our transmission. We hope you bear with us, and we hope to get all that worked out. Johnson couldn't hold on, and now the Rockets can cut it to 2 in the final minute of this third period. Houston on an 8-2 run now, and they've made a nice recovery from their doldrums early on in this period. Here's Reed. Sampson out of nowhere. It's a 2-point game. Ralph Sampson has come on and made a tremendous contribution to the Rockets today.
He sure has, Dick, and on the offensive glass.
16 on the shot clock. 22 in the period. McHale breaks that rally, and it's 84-80. A 10-2 run by the Rockets, and they're down by 4, and Houston can play for the last shot now. Sampson has 19 points and 17 rebounds, a tour de force performance. Hakeem misses. Ames has the buzzer sound. The Celtics scored the first 11, but the Rockets came on at the end. And that's the end of the third period with the score, Celtics 84, the Rockets 80. We'll return to the Summit in Houston, Texas after this word from your local station.
We have a video loss, we understand, and we're trying to arrange a alternate. As well, teamed with Ainge, Parish, and McHale. Start of the fourth period. Actually, the Rockets have outscored the Celtics in both games in the final period. Bit deceiving, though. Parish misses a baseline shot. Sampson the rebound. 1 for 8 for Parish. Having an off day today.
He sure is.
Reed. Rebound by Parish, and the Celtics leading by 4 in the first minute of the final period. Boston leading 2-0 with 2 impressive victories over the Rockets in Boston. Houston was counting on the home court edge. And Danny Ainge on a give and go from Robert Parish, and the Celtics are up by 6.
And Reed was reluctant to leave Bird to pick up Danny Ainge. You've got to help each other. That time Reed didn't.
Lloyd inside to Hakeem. And Hakeem over McHale's long reach, now with 15 points, but 5 of 14 from the field, Tommy.
And Seasting didn't get down there quick enough to disturb the rhythm of the shot by Hakeem.
Seasting looking to Bird, and Bird is held by Robert Reed, and that's the first foul of this fourth period. Larry Bird will inbound from the side. Electrical storms has taken away our video, and now Sampson fighting McHale on the pass from Bird inside, and Sampson and McHale push each other, and Ralph goes over to Kevin. Ralph still talking to Kevin, and Kevin
And in a minute, Dick, the official is going to really have a strong talking to Sampson and may call another one on him.
Sampson has 3. They go low into McHale. Fake turnaround. Air ball and an offensive foul called against Kevin McHale. The crowd loving it here in Houston. McHale with his 3rd foul, and the Rockets down by 4. 10:38 remaining in the 4th period. Level bringing the ball up on the left sideline. Guarded by Seaston. We'll give you a radio play-by-play till the picture is back. Swinging around to Lloyd. Looking for Sampson. Level. Top of the key. Stops his dribble into the left corner. Robert Reed, a 25-footer. And it's 86-84.
They beat the doubling defense that time in the Celtics.
Up high is McHale, guarded by Sampson. 7-4 in his face. Bird looking for Parish to the right of the basket. In the lane, goes up, fakes, and the ball goes off the rim. Parish again with a reverse layup is good, and the Celtics come right back with under 10 minutes to go, leading by 4. Level, telling the Rockets to settle down. Let's set it up, looking for Hakeem. Double team with Seaston. Level gets it back, hits a jump, misses a jump shot. There's Olajuwon spinning around with a jumper, no good. Bird the rebound. Into the hands of McHale, and now Bird brings it up.
They've got Olajuwon shooting more of those fallaways than the strong go-to-the-basket moves.
Parish working against Hakeem. Out to Bird, up on high. Left of the key, McHale. 1 dribble, jump shot is good. And with 9:18 to go, the Celtics are up by 6. 90-84. Sampson and Hakeem. Low post. Lewis Lloyd fires from the corner and misses. Bird blocking out Olajuwon, gets the rebound.
I'll tell you, did he go get that rebound, Larry Bird?
14 for Larry Bird today, so he'll do it one way or another to beat you. He has scored 23 to lead the Celtics. McHale has 26. 26, McHale is the high scorer. He's come on strong in the late period. Bird working against Reed. Long arcing shot at the 24-second buzzer. He got it off but missed the shot, and now the Rockets with Level.
They picked up their defensive stroke here, the Rockets.
8.5 to play. 90-84 Celtics. Olajuwon to Level, swinging out to the top to Reed. Inside of the lane, driving is Lloyd, and a Boston foul as Lloyd drives the basket. And we'll have an official's timeout. Celtics foul is Danny Ainge, his 3rd personal foul. 8:22 to go in the 4th period. The Rockets trail the Celtics 90-84.
Dick Stockton and Tommy Heinsohn, aware of the fact that because of an electrical storm, you do not have video. We're trying to work an alternate way for you to get the picture. As soon as we can do it, you'll get the picture. But Tommy, we're a 6-point Boston lead, 8:22 to go. They seem to be going back, trading baskets at this point. What are your views?
I think what the Rockets have done is start to stiffen their defense a little bit. The Celtics normally can get a good shot when they want it. They have not been able to the last couple of trips up the court. They've been under the gun before the 24-second clock to get a shot off. And even before then, they're not gotten a good shot.
Sampson has 19, Olajuwon 15, but Robert Reed hitting well from outside has 20 points to lead the Rockets. All 5 of their starters are in double figures. McRae with 12. McHale has 26, Bird 23, and Dennis Johnson 18 to lead Boston. Lewis Lloyd is on the line. He'll be shooting 2.
Well, they use Lewis Lloyd on the catch and go, coming off a pick, and when he gets the ball on the move, that makes him doubly dangerous, Dick.
First free throw misses off the front rim. Danny Ainge committed the foul, his 3rd. Houston shooting 36% from the field this half. They had a 3-point lead at halftime. We're down by 10 and now trail by 5 as Lloyd makes 1 out of 2, 90-85. Ainge brings it up quickly on the left sideline, shadowed by Level. McHale setting a pick, right side. They go to the right low. Working his way in is Bird, out to Dennis Johnson. Reed bumping Bird. Turnaround, Larry Bird, 18-footer misses. Olajuwon the rebound. Outlets to Level. Celtics getting back quickly on defense. Level pulls up left of the key and hits the jumper. It's 90-87 in favor of Boston. 7:55 on the clock.
They are faking double teams at Larry Bird. They've got him thinking instead of the other way around.
Dennis Johnson on the right side goes to Bird. Pecking at the ball is Robert Reed. Pass to the left side to Danny Ainge, who hits a big jumper. Ainge with 11 points in the ball game, and it's 92-87. 7.5 to go.
Well, he gets right that time on a double team. Danny Ainge wide open.
Larry Bird has a triple-double today. Double figures in points, rebounds, and assists. Olajuwon going up inside, gets the basket, 17 for Hakeem. And it's 92-89 again. Houston trying to hang in there.
That was the first strong move to the hoop that Hakeem's made in better part of this game.
Low to Parish on the right side. Turnaround over Hakeem, and a one-hander by Robert Parish with 6 points in the game. Largely has been doing a disappearing act, but playing a little bit better off the boards.
That'll help his confidence, Parish. It'll make him bang a little bit more and run a little harder.
Sampson working against Parish, goes up with a hook, missing. Olajuwon gets the rebound, dribbling in the lane. Open is level. Misses the jump shot from 18 feet. And the Celtics with a 5-point lead. Pass inside to Parish, and he's fouled. Parish was inside, beat the Rockets center Olajuwon down the court, and was foul going in. And the foul will be against Olajuwon, his 5th foul, with 6:29 to go. A big foul, timeout. We're back here in Houston Summit. 16,000 fans for Game 3. And Hakeem Olajuwon, who said no way the Celtics will win 2 games here in Houston, sees the Celtics leading 94-89, 6:29 to go, and the Celtics will be on the line. Robert Parish will shoot, and Olajuwon has 5 personal fouls. Although today, the Rockets have been led inside by Ralph Sampson.
And this man here did not have a good game. Robert Parish, Hakeem Olajuwon has had his way with Parish, really denying him position and really pecking at the ball whenever Parish handled it, so he's never able to handle it cleanly.
Here's Parish.
Casey Jones has great belief in this man, particularly down the stretch for rebound purposes. Stick with Robert Parish, he said.
And of course, he can run the court with any center in the league, and you saw him do just that and get the foul by Olajuwon, a big one. See how the Rockets play it. 6:19 to go. Sampson. Ainge is around a double, level. Hits the shot. He's hit 2 of his last 3. Keep in mind that Robert Reed's going to be occupied with Larry Bird, and that's going to take something away from his offensive abilities at this point.
Well, Lever will have to hit that shot against Ainge.
Parish working in double team. Dennis Johnson gets a key offensive rebound. That's why he's been the biggest rebounder in the series coming into this game. Parish with under 6 minutes to go. Dennis Johnson with a big basket, and the Celtics have opened their lead to 98-91 with 5:39 remaining in this 4th period, and it's awfully quiet in the Summit. Rockets are undefeated in the playoffs, 7-0 at home. They had the 2nd best home record in the league, but the Celtics, they did their best work on the road of any team in the league. Sampson crashing the board. Another team, and Ralph Sampson, 21 now.
I tell you, this is one of his tough games. They've got character and Ralph Sampson here.
And we'll find out about the rest of them in the final minutes here if the Rockets can come back at home from a deficit and get on the victory board.
Boston has to come up with a good shot here.
5 minutes to go. Ainge trying to feed it into Parish. Level, saved it into the hands of Reed. Level, veteran, played well against the Celtics in the 81 title series. But that pass is off the hands of Olajuwon, and the Rockets miss an opportunity.
Well, 2 big guys mishandled some passes that should have been handled.
And a timeout called by the Celtics. They have a 5-point lead.
You're going to see Dennis Johnson right down here on the right of your screen make a heck of a move coming to the basket. The ball goes into Parish, and all of a sudden you're going to see Dennis Johnson move to the basket. Wiggins stops for the double, but now watch the inside training of Dennis Johnson, who used to be a forward in college, become a real true offensive rebounder by carving out some room, taking the defensive rebounder on his back, and then plucking it off for an easy rebound.
Fine all-around player, Dennis Johnson. 5 rebounds, but that was a big one for the Celtics, who are up by 5 and have the ball. Wiggins on Dennis Johnson. Reed has been on Bird. Bird has been stalled at 23 for a while. Gets free, shoots over Reed, and has 25.
That was a big basket. They've got a good shot out of their offense. They have not been getting some good shots the last few times down the floor, the Celtics.
4 minutes and 15 seconds to go. And the Rockets are under tremendous pressure now, trailing by 7. They played very well, but were leading by only 3 at the half. And stepping on the line, Reed turns the ball over to Boston.
I tell you, Robert Parish is really doing a heck of a job on Sampson, denying him the low post position that he wants to get. Beautiful job.
And how about McHale? You know, you can't keep them all down forever. 4 points in the first 17 minutes. McHale has had 22 points in the last 26 minutes of this game. And a pushing foul against the Rockets. Dennis Johnson is still limping out there from his collision of knees before. Foul was on Wiggins, his 3rd. McHale working against Sampson. Ball knocked away by Ralph. Reed, 4 on 3, Houston. Sampson ducks down, draws the foul with 3:41 to go.
I tell you, there is a lot of complaining by the inside players who feel that there are many hands coming out and reaching for the ball. McHale almost gave up a hoop that time, complaining to one of their officials.
20 rebounds for Ralph Sampson, 21 points. Misses the free throw. He has struggled from the line today. Timeout story. The Celtics have 3 full timeouts plus a 20. The Rockets have 3 full timeouts. They've used up their 120. Sampson is 5 for 10 at the free throw line. Now 6 of 11, and it's a 194 game. Celtics trying to hang on and go up 3-0.
They're harassing DJ, trying to get him to take some time off the clock before they can get into a good play movement.
3.5 to play in the 4th period. Bird, one-on-one isolated against Reed. Finds Parish inside, and Parish. McHale tips it in. Kevin McHale in a big basket with 28 points. He was quiet for so long, and McHale leads the Celtics with 28. Double team on Olajuwon. McHale and Hakeem gets the basket and a foul, which wakes up the crowd.
That's what they need from Hakeem. He turned to one side, and then Ainge did not drop back fast enough to cut off the angle to the hoop.
And Olajuwon will go to the line. Kevin McHale has 4 fouls now. And here is Hakeem. And this is where the free throw shooting, which has not been good for the Rockets, has to be effective the rest of the game. 5-point Celtic lead. That's the time remaining. Wiggins is on Dennis Johnson. 10 on the clock. Having problems. And a 20-second timeout, and that was alert, smart play by Dennis Johnson.
That was
limping still is DJ.
That was great alert play by Dennis Johnson after the Rockets had played sensational defense.
Game 4 coming up Tuesday night at 9 o'clock Eastern time here at the Summit. And our special guests joining Brent Musburger will be the Doctor, Julius Erving, and Moses Malone, 2 members of the Philadelphia 76ers at the half. Here at the Summit, crowd in kind of watchful anticipation, Tommy. 102-97, the Celtics lead with 2:50 to go in the 4th period. The Celtics 2 minutes and 50 seconds away from going 3 up on the Rockets. And this man, Ralph Sampson, come out with a whale of a game, 22 points and 20 rebounds.
This is the part of the game you normally go to your big guys. Olajuwon has started to get his game together. The Celtics will probably try to go to McHale a little bit.
Johnson's pass intercepted by Sampson. Level. Finds an opening. And Bird comes down with it. Just didn't have the touch inside. 15 rebounds for Larry Bird.
They went right for the penetration, the Celtics. He should have dropped it off to Olajuwon.
Dennis Johnson. Hobbled. But playing nonetheless. Here's Parish. Faking one way, going the other. And Sampson gets another rebound. That's 21 for Ralph. 2:11 to go, and the Rockets going to have to be flawless at both ends if they're going to get back and win this. Sampson gets 2. And it's 102 to 99 in favor of the Celtics. Boy, what a turnabout for Ralph Sampson today.
I'll tell you, he got great position against McHale.
And the Celtics will be in no hurry to get things going. Under 2 minutes to go, 14 on the clock.
You got to be careful, Dick. If you try and eat up too much of the clock, you don't get a good shot.
Bird tipped out of bounds. Celtic ball. 6 seconds to shoot. The timeout story. Each with 3.
I always felt that the best point is around 15 seconds where you can get normally your best shot.
Dennis Johnson. And the rebound by Sampson. And the Rockets can come within 1, and Mitchell Wiggins gets the basket and a foul. And we can tie it up here. Big rebound, big basket, and a foul, and Mitchell Wiggins, who grew up in North Carolina, 30 miles from Michael Jordan, makes a big play.
That's Dennis Johnson's shot, but another big rebound by Sampson, and look how quickly the outlet gets it up the court, and Dennis Johnson has to make the foul, and what balance by Wiggins to make the hoop. I mean, he took a blow.
He has shot 79% from the line in the playoffs, and will try to tie it up with 1:32 to go. The Rockets trailed by 10 in the third period after the Celtics scored the first 11 points. Can't do it. Loose ball, and Parish maintains control. And a timeout. Celtics have 2 timeouts remaining. The Houston Rockets are trying to gain an advantage at home, knowing that they have 3 home games to work with. Trailing the Celtics 2-0. But Tommy Heinsohn, they have had to work long and hard in this game just to stay within range over the Celtics, who have a 1-point lead after Wiggins missed from the line with 1:26 to go.
Well, they certainly have proof, Dick, that they belong in the finals the way they've hung in here. Very difficult to beat Boston up in Boston, and Boston a tough road team, but they've showed their mettle here this afternoon, these Rockets.
Celtics led 102 to 94 with 3.5 minutes to go. The Rockets have scored 7 straight points, but Boston has the ball in the lead.
This is a must situation. A good shot, and not worry about the clock too much.
And for Houston, Larry Bird going up with a runner, short. Hakeem gets the rebound, and a foul is called. Larry Bird gets up and finds out the foul has been called on him. And that'll be number 4 on him.
Here's Bird. He comes off the pick and roll, gets the shot off cleanly. Now Olajuwon makes a clean rebound. And Bird gives it the big acting job, quite frankly. I think just a little bit. Looked like he didn't get hit, but I guess he did.
These are big free throws right now by Olajuwon, who ties the game. The Rocket free throw shooting has been subpar. But today, Hakeem is 8 out of 9 from the line, and Houston leads by 1. Celtics have 2 timeouts left. Larry Bird is only 10 of 26 from the field.
This type of win by the Rockets could really give their confidence going so that they might be able to take all 3 down here.
But they're not free and clear at all. Bird to Danny Ainge, and the Celtics lead with 45 seconds to go. 104 to 103, and Bill Fitch calls a timeout. We'll find out about the Rockets with 45 seconds to go. Celtics lead by 1 with 45 seconds to go, and so we're going to have changes of possession. Houston will get the ball back, and now Bill Fitch likely would go to the big guys, but how will that evolve?
Well, I think Boston's very aware that they've got 2 guys to go to in the low post, and somebody will, one of the Boston guards or maybe both of them will be down doubling. I think what Bill Fitch was saying, be alert to the double and try and find the open guy. It may end up where a guard may have to make this shot.
That means level or read in case it goes that way.
And Wiggins is in there too, so Reed at the forward. They got some good outside shooters once it gets in.
They go to Olajuwon, triple team him. Hakeem off balance, tipped up and in. That was Mitchell Wiggins with the tip in and a big one. And the Rockets regain the lead. 27 seconds and 19 on the shot clock.
Total disdain for the double team by Olajuwon that time.
And Wiggins made up for the missed free throw on the three-point play. That could have tied it. 15, 8 on the clock.
Celtics have a mismatch.
Parish inside. Misses. Bird. And let's see, the 24-second clock may have sounded.
There was a rebound.
Joe Crawford and Jake O'Donnell confer.
There was an inadvertent whistle.
They apparently got the shot off in time.
Jump ball, inadvertent whistle.
Inadvertent whistle.
What are you going to do? You're going to put 10?
Might have been an inadvertent whistle there, Tom.
An inadvertent whistle, as saying, which means a jump ball. Nobody had possession when the whistle was blown.
Bill Fitch wants a timeout. He's got 2 left, so does Casey
Jump
Jones.
ball because the ball was loose. And no 24 seconds. All we do is got 7 seconds left. Right?
Bird was underneath and the ball bounced off him. They're going to jump it.
Nobody had possession of the ball. That's why it's a jump ball. If Celtics had possession, they would have retained possession.
Comes down to this. Just like we're starting the game over. Parish and Sampson will jump.
Well, Sampson should get the leap here.
First, the Celtics will call a timeout. 7 seconds to go in this drama. Tommy, kind of a bizarre play and a key one down the stretch. The whistle had to blow before the ball bounced off of Larry Bird.
Well, nobody had possession of it. When the whistle blew was really the point at issue. So nobody had possession. The shot was taken. There was no foul. Nobody retained it. It went out of bounds. The whistle was probably blown before it even hit Bird in the head. So it'll be a jump ball. The interesting part right now, Dick, is what will Boston do in a situation where seemingly Rob Sampson will be able to get the tip against Robert Parish. Sampson, a much bigger leaper.
Here's the big play for the Rockets. Mitchell Wiggins, who's a good rebounder inside. Look how alert he is. Number 15 tips it up and in. After missing the free throw moments ago that would have tied the game, he puts the Rockets in front.
Now Boston's going to play the tip defensively, hoping the only way that Sampson's got an opening is back towards Wiggins, who's almost out of your screen, or is out of your screen on the left.
Houston controls, and Hakeem is fouled with 5 seconds to go. Now, if he makes the free throws, Celtics have time for a three-pointer to tie.
Well, they picked out the biggest target, Olajuwon, to spread out. They had it lined up that they could have tipped all the way back, but not a bad move as Olajuwon really can jump and spread. It worked.
He's 8 for 9 from the free throw line. Celtics. May call a timeout. They have 1 left. Hakeem could give the Rockets a 3-point lead. Going for his 24th point. He doesn't make it, and the Celtics call time. And a chance to tie with 5 seconds to go. So Olajuwon misses the second free throw. Boston has a shot. The Celtics use their last timeout to set up a play that they hope will either win with a three-point shot or tie it up with 5 seconds to go. The Rockets, with a great comeback, Tommy, have outscored the Celtics 12-2 in the last 3 minutes and 15 seconds.
You know, it's awfully difficult to eat up the clock in professional basketball. You try to run it down too close to 24, you usually end up with a bad shot, and that's what I think happened with the Celtics. Plus, some very good defense by the Rockets. What the Celtics have to do right now, Dick, is go for the two-pointer, I think. But they're just cagey enough. They're keeping their big people in there, so they probably will look inside first. If it's not there, kick it back out.
And a guy who can hit a three-pointer is the man you just saw, Larry Bird, who came into the game 3 out of 7 from that range. Wiggins will press. Dennis Johnson will inbound. 5 seconds to go. Rockets lead by 2. Celtics out of timeouts. Parish. Dennis Johnson, they stepped on the line. The Celtics stepped on the line and turned it over. And the Houston Rockets snuff out the Celtics and win for the first time in the NBA Finals. McHale had 28. But for the Rockets, Sampson 24, Olajuwon 23, Robert Reed had 20. So the Houston Rockets, Sampson with 22 rebounds, was the key man for the Rockets today. And here's the great defense by Houston.
They really played tight. They made everybody come to the ball. They gave a big target, Robert Parish, but he stepped on the line on that pass to Dennis Johnson. Good defense. Look at Bird coming to the hoop. And Reed right there. Look at Parish. Let's see if we can catch if his foot was on the sideline or not. Usually bring your big man. And there it is. Right on the line, right foot.
And Tommy, the Celtics were out of timeout, so if Dennis Johnson had any trouble, he couldn't call a timeout and set something else up. Tremendous credit to the Houston Rockets, who could have been demoralized after they had the lead, were down by 10, and did the job down the stretch, and now trail 2 games to 1. Let's go back upstairs to Brent Musburger. Brent, what a game.
All right, Dick, it certainly was. Hakeem Olajuwon saying that the Rockets would not lose this game, nor would the Celtics be able to win 2 of 3. We'll see, because the next 2 games are still scheduled here in the Summit. So that does it. The Houston Rockets, showing character for the first time in this series, climb back in. They beat the Boston Celtics. The final score, 106-104. So be sure to join us Tuesday night. It will be Game 4 of this series from the Summit in Houston, Texas, starting at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Will the Rockets make it 2-0, or will the Celtics open up a 3-1 lead? We'll find out on Tuesday night. The NBA on CBS has been a presentation of CBS Sports.